everyone, we are Group 21. Today we are going to introduce an example of Huawei for organization change in the model environment. So let's introduce the Huawei's background first. Huawei's mission is to bring digitalization to everyone, families, and organizations, and realize a fully connected and intelligent world. So let's watch a short video to know what the Huawei is.
Huawei, which can be translated to Splendid Act or China Able, was started in 1987 as other Chinese city of Shenzhen. Its founder and CEO is Ren Zhengfei, a former officer and engineer in the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Back then, a scrappy upstart and switched by another company in Hong Kong. In the 1990s, it started doing own research, and toward the end of the millennium, opened several research centers globally. Following that research, Huawei became capable of developing its own products, which were sometimes up to 25% cheaper than its competitors, and it began to expand its reach worldwide. Today, Huawei is probably best known for being one of the world's biggest smartphone makers alongside Samsung and Apple. It's also the globe's largest provider of telecommunications equipment. It has built more than 1,500 networks worldwide, connecting a third of the planet's population. Huawei employs around 180,000 people and says its revenue for 2018 was about $107 billion.
Huawei is the most successful mobile phone and communication company in China. So let's introduce Huawei's organization reform approach. Huawei is not afraid of breaking the frame and is constantly employs transformation change. So the choose recreation. It means that when this step of the change occurs, change is generally recognized too late, and a crisis is usually imminent or actual. Recreation occurs where the time and resource are strained. The resulting change is disparate, broad, and irreversible. For example, when Huawei first 3G network was deployed in the Middle East, it was asked to supply mobile phone for its infrastructure. However, when all mobile phone suppliers refused to sell phone to Huawei, the company made decision to develop its own mobile phone, which was totally unknown business area for it. Today, Huawei has overtaken LG and is ranking number 3 in the global smartphone market share, right after Samsung and Apple. This activity can be categorized as recreation, according to the Landers and Tasman's model, as opportunity to reorientation, as Huawei was first into mobile phone business rather than entering into with an anticipatory mindset. Therefore, most of Huawei choose in the face difficulties are recreation to further develop the potential of the organization. So thank you everyone, that's my part.
Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum, dear doctor. My name is Soqi. My metric number is 201717. I will introduce what threat does Huawei face. First one is political factor. Huawei's transformation has been affected by political pressure. For example, the United States prevent Huawei from participating in the construction of a national public safety LTE networks, and the Australian government banned Huawei from build a national broadband network. These incidents have had a huge impact on Huawei's reputation and growth. And that is economic factor. Europe and the European Union are facing several economic pressure, and Europe is a key international market for Huawei. Therefore, the economic downturn continues to affect Huawei's key customers. And then is technical element. Industry standards are evolving very fast, and Huawei must manage its technical risks in this fast product cycle. And then is telecommunications industry. In the telecommunication industry, competition is fierce. Factors such as price, functions, service quality, and the timing of new products and services will severely affect competitiveness. And then is M&A pressure. Mergers and the acquisition of other companies pose a continuous and huge threat to Huawei's market share. And then is how to solve the threat. There's internal environment, mission and strategy, leadership and organizational culture elements. Huawei pays attention to the challenge and the needs of customers and strive to create maximum value through high-quality services, customer-centric innovation, and win-win cooperation. And then structure and system element. Huawei adopt a world-class management system and balanced scorecards based on ISO 9001 International Standard for Quality Management System and TL 9000 International Standard for Quality Management System in the telecommunication industry to elevate its performance. This structure and the system ensure that Huawei's vision and strategy are fully understood throughout the company, and that its vision and strategy are aligned with its organization and personal goals. Next one is from rural China to developed countries. My friend will be explain this one and global business expansion and establish a strategy alliance. And then next to my friend. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Fu Weijie. My metric number is 204755. I will continue to talk about Huawei's transformation and changes management. Huawei's transformation to succeed in this environment is constantly changing environment. Huawei has developed a unique culture that combines aspiration, motivation, value, and this winning aspect of these employees. Huawei has observed many key changes, and these changes have been integrated into this culture. Number one, from imitator to leader. It is no accident that Huawei has transformed from a technology imitator to a technology leader. About half of Huawei's employees are engaged in research and development, and it has more than 16 research and development centers and 28 joint innovation centers around the world. Its products include not only traditional network equipment, but also wireless infrastructure, optical network, data communications, and mobile phones. These research and development initiatives have played a key role in promoting Huawei global leadership in achieving this transformation. Number two, from rural China to development countries. Huawei's initial market was in rural China. Its sales strategy is to develop the rural market first and then to enter the city. Over the year, this international advance includes Southeast Asia, Russia, Africa, and Europe. Huawei gains sustainable traction in the international market and helps transform this internal organization structure and help the company build international influence. Number two, global operations expansion. Huawei proceeded strategically to gain economic and technology advantages in different geographic regions. For example, Huawei first started a small software development business in India in 1999, and then opened a research and development center in 2001. The India Research and Development Center is now the largest and most important asset outside of China. Next part, organizational change needs to be managed. Otherwise, it may lead to failure. How does Huawei respond to change? Number one, changing agent. In terms of reform implementation, Huawei has great change promoted a visionary and decisive founder. He has a strong sense of agency and leads changes. Huawei organizational development focuses on continuous learning. It learns from world-class management processes from its learn technology and anyway beyond what allows it to realize its vision. Number two, a sense of urgency. In order to break the shell of complacency and self-ridicules in the organization is crucial. Huawei has well inspired this sense of urgency. The company shares insights on life, strategy, and the company with employees through speech and publications. This strong sense of urgency permeates organizational development and motivates employees. The communications changes and transform. Number three, communication. Organizational scholars have long realized the importance of the communication process in sustaining successful organizational changes. Huawei has established informs and communication channels to ensure timely access to informs, including employees' online forums, customer communication channels, and management meeting at all levels. Our group, the presentation is finished. Thank you, everyone.